Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with thepigsite.com, and today we're here with Dr. Bob Morrison. He is a professor at the University of Minnesota. So thanks for being with us today, Bob.
Thank you, Sarah, for the invitation.
Very good. We're here at the North American PRRS Conference, and I know you just presented to the group. Can you tell us a little bit about what you talked about to them?
Roughly 5 years ago, we started a project called the Swine Health Monitoring Project. It came out of a lot of confusion and basically not knowing what was happening with regards to the behavior of major pathogens, in particular PRRS virus, in the field. You know, when is PRRS virus active? When is it quiet? There was individual observations here and there, but it wasn't until we put the data together from you, Sarah, sharing your data, me sharing my data, and put it into one aggregate database that we were able to really understand or begin to understand the behavior of, in this case, PRRS virus, subsequently PED virus in the field. So that's what we've been doing for 5 years, and we summarized our project. Now it's important to think about this project in terms of two goals. The one goal, which is our long-term goal, is to build a capacity within our U.S. industry such that we can respond in a voluntary way better to the next emerging pathogen like PED virus than we did with PED virus itself. So we're trying to build that long-term capacity, but we feel strongly that nobody would participate unless we can deliver short-term answers. And so we use those data in the long term to build the capacity, in the short term to try and answer questions that producers and veterinarians have to try and help them control viruses like PRRS virus.
Very good. So to that point, what are some of the conclusions or answers you've been able to provide to producers?
The first one we realized or we learned was that PRRS is amazingly predictable in terms of its spread within the U.S. industry as a whole. That's been kind of a major finding that then allows producers and veterinarians to know when it's going to start up, therefore when they need to tighten up their biosecurity, although I would add biosecurity should be tight all the time, but we tend to let go on some items, and so now we know late fall PRRS is going to go, so be ready. That's our first thing. Second thing is we've been able to take all of those data and we've been able to answer questions like, you know, where should I build a new site? And so we can use those data to say, well, for example, if you build on the top of a hill, you significantly decrease your risk, and if you have trees around the farm, you furthermore significantly reduce your risk. So we wouldn't be able to answer questions like that without these data.
Wow. So things like seasonality and even where to put your barn if you're putting up a new facility, those are really specific things. Is kind of you know, the world is your oyster. I mean, you're just continuing to pull these nuggets out.
Yeah, and most recently we've now developed the capacity to give our participants an ability to see their data, only their data, and then to compare others' data, although it's anonymous as to who they're comparing. But we're now realizing that this, what we thought was a uniform aggregate pattern across the country, is not as uniform as we thought.
Interesting.
And while it's true in certain regions with certain systems, it's a different pattern elsewhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It does. It sounds like there's kind of, you know, it's limitless in some of the information you guys can glean from it. So
we're just cracking the egg.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Bob.
Thank you, Sarah.
This is Sarah Mikesell with thepigsite.com.